Hey guys, the sun finally came out. Okay, so today we are going to do my middle school and high school experience. I'm doing both in one because it's really short for me. So let's get started. So when I went to Blue Ridge Middle School, and it was I was an awkward kid already through elementary school, which I don't really remember elementary school that much because it's just like first through fifth grade. Like you don't really remember anything. You don't really think about it that much because you're really young and you don't really do anything except for go to school, come home, go to school, come home, hang out with your friends, and that's it. But middle school, oh boy, I was a really awkward kid, and I'll show you photos. Like I was just like I don't have that many photos of me in middle school because I was just like that was me right there. I mean, look, like the peace sign. See, really, like it was weird. But my middle school experience, I was put in like special ed classes because I was really bad at reading, and I'm dyslexic, so like I mix my words up, and like when I'm trying to say something, it doesn't really come out the way that a normal person should talk. So I was in that class. I didn't like it. It made me feel stupid to be like, oh, everyone is in these other classes, and I'm here in the small little group. And every time we would go take tests, they would pull that group out, me and some other kids, and go test in the other room. Like I just felt like stupid. Like it made me feel stupid, and I did not like it. I got bullied a lot in middle school. It was sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, 3 grades in that school. I got bullied because I didn't look like a normal person because of my birth defect. And there was this kid named Tyler that would literally he used to be my brother's friend in middle school, but then my brother stopped being friends with him. And his name was Tyler, and he would make pig noises every time I would walk past him in the hallways. So I didn't like that, and I would cry. I remember one day I literally cried on the bus home because he kept doing it every time I was near him. So I would literally, like, the school was kind of like, it was a normal school, but the hallways were kind of like shaped like in a hallways. Wow, okay. And I would literally walk all the way around to just avoid him because I knew what class he was in. So I would literally walk all the way around just to avoid him so he wouldn't make that pig noises. It would be like just making pig noises at me, and it was just really embarrassing, and I cried. And I remember I went to the guidance counselor and I told her that she kind of looked like Michael Jackson in a way. And I told her, I was just like, yeah, he keeps doing this and I really just want to punch him in the face sometimes. She literally made me write on paper that I wanted to go punch him in the face. I'm like, I'm getting bullied here by his friends and him making pig noises at me. Like, what the frick, dude? Like, come on, that's not fair. That's not fair. So I was just like, no. And in middle school, it's kind of a blur. I had my best friend Kai there. Hi Kai, we still talk. And I thought, he was gonna come to high school with me, but no, he moved to Hawaii, and I knew about that, and it sucked. Like my best friend wasn't there, and like we dated, like okay. And then I remember there was this kid named Gunnar who was like a little nerdy kid, and I wasn't a nerdy kid, but I was like one of those weird ones, that didn't fit in whatsoever. And like, we dated. Like, it was just so weird. Like, in middle school where you're like, oh my god, I'm dating someone else, so cool. And then you look back, you're just like, that wasn't even dating. Like, what we do, we didn't even hold hands. Like, so awkward. Um, Also in middle school, like I hated middle school. I hated it. I didn't find my place there. And in the cafeteria you have ABC lunch, and my grade of course would have all the same lunches sometimes. And you have the popular kids tables, you have the jocks, you have all the guys who just want to hang out with guys, and then you have the nerdy table and people who don't fit in. Me, I did not fit in any group, any fucking group, at all. Obviously, I wasn't one of the popular kids, first of all. Second of all, I mean, I hate the word nerd. I hate that word, but I don't know what else to say. Like people who like to read books and like do other stuff than what other people like to do. Basically, them. I would try to fit in with them, but I hated reading. Didn't care much about science. Didn't care much about anything they would freaking talk about. So I would just sit there, and some days I would literally sit at lunch by myself because I literally had no friends. I literally had no friends. Like people who I thought were my friends weren't really my friends. They probably just felt really sad for me. So I was just like, cool, thanks guys. And by the end of the year, I started making some friends. Of course, it's at the end of the fucking year of 8th grade, I started to make some friends. But of course, our 8th grade class got split up because we're all going to different high schools, 2 high schools, Woodgrove and Valley. I went to Valley. Half of the people that were my friends went to Woodgrove. So that sucked. I remember one time, oh my god, it was so embarrassing. It was during lunch and I just started my period. And I was wearing these like light blue jeans, kind of like this. And you know, when you're young, you really don't feel it. You really just be like, just have cramps, and it's fine. I bled through my pants onto the cafeteria tables. Now, they're the ones where the table and the seat are connected to each other, you know, so they fold it like this, and then go, yeah. I kind of got up, and my friend looked at me. She's like, hey, period started. And I was like, fuck. So I told one of my friends, I think it's my friend Kai or some guy, and I was just like, hey, get me ketchup. Again, I don't know why I said this, why ketchup? And I was just like, okay, open the back. And I put it all on my seat and I sat on it. I was just like, oh, sat in ketchup. Like, are you fucking kidding me, Sierra? Ketchup? Really? That's the first thing that came to mind too, was ketchup. And I was like, oh my god, it was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. And then yeah, in 8th grade, I definitely had more friends than 6th and 7th grade. 8th grade was better year for me, guys. And yeah, not much I can remember. Oh yeah, we played a lot of Foursquare. That was fun. Of course, everyone had their cliques, as usual. You know, I always wanted to be one of those kids that like hung out with the popular kids, but never did. And every time there was like a new kid, they would automatically be popular. And I'm just like, why couldn't I be the new kid from France that came in and automatically was popular? You know, never happened. But anywho, let's get, oh yeah, more middle school pictures of me. I mean, how awkward can I get, guys? How awkward? Oh, that's me in 8th grade. Me in 8th grade again. Like, I'm just so awkward. Okay, now we're going into freshman year. Freshman year, I grew out my hair, and I was just like paint my nails black, wear a sunblind shirt, and wear those black bracelet things that if you broke it means you had sex with someone. Apparently. Oh yeah, back in middle school, we did the pacer, and everyone would stop at 69. I thought it was so freaking funny. Middle school shit. This was me freshman year. Can't really see it, but yeah. Grew out my hair, wear a sunblock shirt. Cool. Freshman year. Okay, freshman year. In high school, all my siblings were with me. Which is great because I had my siblings with me. I was like, thank God, don't leave me again. Because that sucks. I was always the last one because I was in the last of the grade. So I had 3 siblings. I had my brother and my sister. They were in 11th, my brother was in 10th, and I was in 9th, so I went boom, boom, boom. So most of the people in high school kind of knew who I was because I was one of the Madison crew. And I was just like, okay. So, middle school, funny times. Oh, BlackBerry works. That's funny, it just turned on. But, freshman year was okay. I mean, it wasn't fantastic as usual. I was still like, you know, that awkward kid. God, I was so awkward. I don't really have much pictures of me in freshman year. I was just had long hair. I kind of thought it was a hippie back then. It was fun. I still had my friends, Anna and Rachel there. Kind of laid low. Didn't really do anything. to school, went home, didn't really do much. Fuck it. 11th grade, I decided to get dreads and fake gauges at the time. Like, oh yeah, and I would longboard too. That's also true. Sophomore year, that's when I started hanging out with my friends that I kept there from high school. That's when I started realizing that you can skip school if you don't get caught. And my brother would do it all the time. My brother would skip school, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty cool. And, like, my brother, he wasn't really a trouble. I mean, no, he was kind of a troublemaker in school, you know. And that's when I met my friend Mitch there in sophomore year. And, you know, I tried to skip, but I was a good kid. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be a bad kid. So I didn't do it. And, you know, this is when I started exploring with photography, doing weird shit to my hair, making my own clothes. And this picture, which someone stole and put it on their Instagram for some reason, and they won't take it off. This one, where I painted my face and asking Alexandria a t-shirt, sorry, that one. It's going kind of like through an emo phase, you know? And also, yeah, I had really long hair back then, and now I have really short hair. Go me. But yeah, that was fun. Then 10th grade. 10th grade didn't really do much. I still laid low, had some friends. It was all fun. 11th grade, that's when I did not give a single frick about anything. I shaved my head side again. I started drawing on my t-shirts. That's me and my friend Kiana back in high school. I hung out with the bad kids. I learned how to skip school. I would skip almost every single week, and my friend Mitch would drive, and we would literally get these margarita cans. And he would pick me up from my mom's house, and we would go to the store and have one of someone get us alcohol. I don't remember who would get them, or Mitch would take it from his parents or something like that. And we would just get a little tipsy before school and go to school. And we did that kind of multiple times, not gonna lie. Definitely skipping. We would all meet in, girls would meet in the bathroom, boys would meet in the bathroom. We'd all be like, hey, you gotta leave out of this hallway and leave at this exit. Because every time we had like a pep rally or something like that. Because I was not a part of it. I wasn't into the school spirit. I was just like, I really don't care. I went to probably two of the school functions, okay, out of 4 freaking years. And I was just like, I just didn't like it. And we would literally tell our friends, like, hey, you leave out of this exit, I leave at that exit. Because the teachers literally caught on to us and be like, well, they're all leaving, so stand at the exit. And I remember it was rain, and we would all meet up at McDonald's or Vercelli's right down across the street. And I remember it started to rain and pour. And of course, I was the last one to get out of there because everyone left way before me. Like, their class got to leave before mine to go to the auditorium. And I'm like, fuck, I can't leave. So I literally just ran out through the hall, through the language hall, and I just left. It started to rain. I'm in my Vans, I'm wearing my drug rug, I'm wet and I'm cold. We get to McDonald's, everyone's there shivering. And it was so cold. And I remember one time there was an officer shade that literally had to go to the McDonald's and tell us to go back to school. Did we go? No. We said we were going back, but we never did. Oh yeah, my first time skipping, yeah, it was 11th grade. No, it was 10th grade. 10th grade, my first time skipping. I left. And I was just like, so I went to Vercelli's. And then, of course, you know, everyone knows my siblings over there, and everyone knows me, practically. Not really everyone, but most of the people knew me. And they're like, oh, Sierra's not in class. Because I was skipped the last block. So they asked my siblings where I was, and I think I told my siblings. And then the assistant principal calls me on my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, you need to come back to class now. And then, of course, me being a good kid, it's my first time skipping, I was scared shitless that my mom was going to find out. So I came back, and my mom yelled at me. She's like, you're not a senior. You have to start going to your classes. You don't have early release. And I was like, okay. Anyways, back to 11th grade. Definitely skipped a lot. Sometimes I would drink before school. Wasn't really a good idea. Um, Definitely went to a lot of parties. Definitely. Underage drinking, yeah. Skipping, yes. And this is how I looked there. My best friend Max. My friend Sarah, before she left. Oh yeah, I would get into in school, guys. I would purposely get in school because I could actually get my work done in silent and in peace and not have all these distractions. Because I'm literally like a squirrel or a cat. Like, I get distracted by any little thing. And my friend Sarah got in school. And I told the teacher I had it in school too. I was like, wait, I have it in school too. And then half the day goes by. She's like, wait, you're not even supposed to be here. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to class now. Yeah, and also they would not let me have a hall pass that year. I literally had to be walked to my classes if I wanted to go somewhere because I would skip all the time. Goes, yeah, it was freakishly funny. Yeah, and I would have my long red hair, dressed like this, skipping most of the day. And sometimes when I would skip, I would literally just go into the BAM room and just do my work because I just didn't want to be around people except for my friends, which were like the hippie. They didn't do drugs. Like, what I consider drugs is like, I don't consider weed a drug, and that's what we did. We smoked weed. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river. And then that year is when I had my nose surgery. Just little me. So, thank you to all my friends that supported me. Oh yeah, that's me at a party. I don't know what the frick I was wearing, but I had that sombrero for a while. And, oh yeah, that was my friend Will. Rest in peace. Love you. I think we're actually waiting to skip that day. We're waiting in the auditorium because I went to his gym class. I was never in class, dude. I was never in class. I would always go to my other friend's class. If they have gym, I would just go to their gym and just be like, hi, guys. Yeah, I got kicked out a few times there. Lovely. And yeah, I would dress like this, like hippie-ish, don't even know what style to call that. Then came my senior year. My senior year, didn't care, was over it, didn't want to go to school. I tried to you literally have to like kind of file for early release. They would not give it to me because I kept leaving. Last year I actually I had early release. Like, they wouldn't give it to me. So I was really mad. And they put me to have study hall and art the last days. My A day was probably study hall, my B day was art last class. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm not gonna do study hall last day. Like, I could just go home and do my work. But yeah, that was great. Oh yeah, and then my senior year, that's where I lost. Yeah, lost one of my friends. Well, he committed suicide. Just basically, senior year was crappy. 11th grade, I think it was my friend's brother who died, Will. It was just literally the last 2 years of high school were just shit. And I would literally sometimes have like mental breakdowns because it was just so much. Like, being that young, you don't expect to lose like 2-3 people that you knew and one that you're really close to. Like, you're not supposed to. Like, it was 10th grade, I lost my brother lost his friend Christian, who got shot by a cop. 11th grade, my friend Gabby lost her brother to a car accident, and I lost my friend Will due to suicide. So basically, those last 3 years were kind of really a blur. Like, high school was just like a blur, and I was so happy to get out of it. I was just like, I hated it. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was just not. I just wanted to get out of there. And yeah, my senior year of high school was just, that's when everybody started like spreading apart. My friend group kind of fell off here and there because some people got into drugs and some people left to go into like rehab and like do all that, and like literally left the state to go get clean. And I was the one who didn't want to do those hardcore drugs because I've never been about that and never will. And it's just like, damn, I lost all my friends. And then there was this part in high school, my senior year, where I lost most of my friends because I was dealing with something personal, and they wouldn't talk to me. It was two of my girlfriends that would not talk to me. I would have English class in Mercedes' room, and they would usually sit by me, and like we would be friends. They literally would sit across from me and not talk and play board games and just disclude me in every little thing. So I would literally just walk out and just cry. I remember I was at the guidance counselor I didn't tell her everything that was going on. I told her mostly about it. And she's like, oh, well, do you want me to tell them that they can't be in there when you're there? And I'm like, no, like, I'm not that petty. I'm not going to do that. But it sucks when you lose all your best friends when you're going through something so hard and personal. And it's like, it's not your fault what you're going through. It's not your fault. And you're just like, what the hell? But no, the one person that stuck by me was my friend Will, Mitch, my friend Sarah, but she wasn't there. She was in North Carolina there because she moved. And that's basically all I had. All I had were my guy friends. Oh, yeah, and then I lost my best friend Molly because of something I was going through. And yeah, it just sucked. I remember I was in art class and my friend Molly was in there. She wouldn't talk to me, wouldn't say anything to me. And I just like walked out, started bawling, crying. My art teacher came after me. He's like, hey, where are you going? I'm like, I'm leaving. I can't do this. I want to leave. He actually let me go. He was just like, you know what, you're so distressed right now, you can leave if you want to. And I was like, thank you. And I would literally, there was probably like several days where I wouldn't go to school. I would tell my dad I'm going to school, but then I would just, because my dad, he moved right behind our school. And I would literally just walk into school in the morning and just sign in, do the attendance, and then I would leave. Like, I did not care. My dad would blow my phone up. I would put it on airplane mode. I would go hang out with my friends, ask what time they're leaving. I would literally skip school. Like, when I had my car senior year, I would literally take my car, text my friend Sarah, who early graduated, and I would, from different school, Woodgrove, Sarah Harkins, and I was just like, hey, I'm coming over. I'm having a bad day. Should make me food. Everything was fine. Like, all my problems went out through the roof. Then definitely a lot of skipping. My friend Mitch and I, we used to skip class. I would tell him, it would be second block, and I'd tell him that's when I had English class where two of my best friends were ignoring me, and I was just like, hey, I want to leave. I'm not having a good day. I don't want to go to math class. He's like, okay, we'll try to stick it through math, and I was like, hell no, I'm not going. And then we would go skip. We'd go to Harper's Ferry, go to abandoned places. That was fun. And then my graduation came. That's when I like didn't really have any of my friends' support there because of what I was going through. Oh yeah, and then that year, I'll show you, I also went to Radford a lot. That year I cut my hair short. That was senior year, my friend Kiana. That was my best friend Mitch in high school. Okay, and then that's when I was going to Radford a lot of the times. Yeah, and that was my friend Sarah. I used to go to her house all the time. But yeah, high school was pretty shitty. I did not like it. Oh, I gotta text my dad. My car's ready. Basically, high school was just stressful the last 3 years. Basically, I had to do a lot of growing up from 10th grade to senior year. Losing friends, losing permanently friends. It was just not very good. And also, like, my brother was in and out of the hospital when I was in high school, so most of the school knew about that. They made a fake Facebook saying praying for the Madisons because my brother was going through some personal issues that we were trying to keep closed in, but word got around the school and it's just like titled as this crazy family, and then, you know, shit happens. You know, we're teenagers, we don't know what we're doing. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it has some, the bad ways over the good. I will say that. Which is weird. I just don't understand high school that much, and I hate bullies. I will never bully someone. I will never put anyone down. I would never disfriend any of my friends just because they're going through something personal that I don't agree with what they're doing. That is their own body, that is their own thing to do. It was just very stressful and emotional in high school. But I did have fun. I'm thankful for the friends I have now and the ones that stuck with me. It was just, and also I was never part of the popular kid group, but I did sell some weed to a couple of them. Yeah. Yeah, definitely when I went starting to go to Radford, they started knowing me more. And I was like, yeah, I'm the one that parties a lot. Did a lot of partying. Yeah. But anyways, that is my high school experience. It was okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. It was just high school.